And we are live for the
Hello.
first episode of Damage Report that will eventually be labeled Damage Report on the stream
It's
here.
is it not labeled on the like
No,
the
as in the logo, I was just like, the only logo I have right now is Dead Meat Games, so I just put that on
sure, that makes sense. Yeah.
there. No, I just built this layout right here because I drove for 7 hours yesterday from Las Vegas. That's a 4 hour trip. And it's much longer when your child is vomiting in the back seat.
Oh no, is that why you went home
I
early?
had to I had to come home early. My wife got food poisoning, which then led to, I'm pretty sure it's not food poisoning, it's a stomach bug that then led to Phoenix getting it, and we were up all night and said we have to go. And then
Hmm.
I don't know if anyone has ever driven from the Las Vegas area, but there's the stupidest traffic around Prim. It was 3 hours of just not
Jesus.
moving. And then I go, there's no accident. There's nothing. Apparently they're like, oh yeah, that's just holiday traffic. I said, it makes
I
no
guess that makes
sense to me.
sense.
No, it makes no sense to me that they
No,
just stop. Like
I know.
there's nothing that's like slowing it down. It's just,
Is
they're
it
just
like
moving
no?
slower.
That doesn't that is weird. It makes sense to me. Like I had not occurred to me that yesterday was Memorial Day. Where I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it would be like a busier weekend than typical.
Yes. But yes, I made it here for our first episode. I'm very excited for it. And then of course James just did his right beforehand. So
Yeah.
we had a nice lead in. Thanks,
Yeah.
James, for leading us into this glorious episode. So just before we dive fully in, I just want to say thank you all for glorious support for last week, our big launch of Dead Meat Games. Bunch of stuff came out on the channel.
It's true.
And I hope that you're able to check that out. I worked very hard to get all that set up for that that last week, as did Ben and everyone else in the Dead Meat team.
Oh, last week was so tiring.
Oh, it was
Um,
so tiring. I'm glad there was a
yeah.
long weekend,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it was still tiring because it was my brother's bachelor party, so I didn't
yeah.
sleep much.
I had a very busy weekend, and it was very fun,
Yeah,
great time, but I'm also like, I'm still tired, man.
yeah. Oh my goodness,
I
yes.
was out from like 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday. I had Kesha on Sunday, and then yesterday I like marathoned movies with my friends, and I'm just like, I've had no downtime.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it was great, but I'm so tired.
Um, well, we're gonna wake ourselves up to talk about some news here. But I did see that Mason White. Have you seen Turbo Kid or played the game? Are we talking Turbo Kid, the movie, the BMX like '90s style post-apocalyptic movie? Because I haven't played the game, but uh, the music from that movie is amazing. I love the music from that movie for sure. So I have
Sounds
seen
like
Turbo Kid.
sounds like your volume is low compared to me, according to the chat.
All right. I don't really know. Let me.
Freak Show thinks the volume sounds fine for both, so we're getting conflicting reports.
Okay. I'll turn it up a little bit, but I'm afraid I've been getting weird peaking on this new setup. I have a
It's
new interface.
interesting.
Ah. Ah. All right. And I'm just gonna quickly monitor and see.
To answer, someone asked, what did they
Let's see.
ask? To answer Liam Daly's question, Kesha was fantastic. Kesha ruled.
All right. Let's take that, and then I'll also bring Ben down just a little bit, and that hopefully will do it. All right. Let's hop on over into our news. Ben set up an order for all this, and then I randomly clicked on things, so I may be out of order
I'm
for
excited to
this.
find out what you've turned it into.
But let's see here. All right, so popping on over. We've got our first piece right here. We got Phasmophobia's Alan Wake event was written by Sam Lake and is a match made in heaven. So yes, there is Alan Wake crossover in Phasmophobia. Ben, have you played Phasmophobia?
I've not played Phasmophobia. I've seen streams of Phasmophobia, so like I get the general sense of how it works. My friend met her boyfriend through playing a Phasmophobia stream, so that's kind of the thing that I think of the
That's
most about that game.
you feel it's a dating game. Phasmophobia
Yeah,
is.
yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's like a co-op game, and like maybe you'll co-op play with someone who you end up dating for 7 years.
I think that's
Yeah.
that's very that's a normal thing. that Phasmophobia. Well, now if you're Alan Wake fans, the Alan Wake fans can find their life partner in there. It's just whenever I see Alan Wake, I'm like, okay, I gotta get this on the kill count. There's a lot of requests I feel for Alan Wake. I played like the opening chapter of the game, and I think then I went, oh, I need to save this so I could get paid to play it. I can't play this in my own time, because that's also what's I played Alan Wake 2 more than I played Alan Wake, just because my buddy recommended it, and I'm like, he's like, oh, you don't have to worry about the first game, it's okay. And I mean, it was really fun and beautiful game, but I didn't.
I have both. I have both sitting on my computer. I have not played a ton of like AAA horror games. I feel like the majority of horror games I've interacted with are like indie games. So with the launch of the new channel, I'm very consciously like, I need to play like Dead Space and Resident Evil and Silent Hill and Alan Wake.
Yeah. I gotta get Alan Wake under the belt so we can get that. But I say that Andrew711, a little super chat there, said we need a horror themed Mario Party clone. One of the trailers that I found will be something similar to that, but then there's another one, and I want to say it's called Murder Party, but it's very Saw-like. I saw a trailer for it a while ago that is designed to be a Murder Mario Party clone where you're button mashing, but there's death. So that's what we
Look, man, I think play Mario Party with close enough friends, it's already horror themed.
Oh my goodness. Is this capturing my mouse? I don't want people to see my mouse. I'm going to change that right now. Capture cursor. Well, you know what I did there? That apparently just deleted the entire screen. Welcome to the mouse. This is the first episode. All I did was say, hey, you know what? I don't want to see that mouse. And then it went.
It's impressive because like,
well, now you don't get to see.
We've done these live streams before.
But
it's the first damage report. We've done this before.
Don't start with me. Don't you start with me. I'm still tired from 7 hours of driving.
That's fair. I get that. Next time we'll get your private plane to Las Vegas.
Oh man, I'd love to be on the DMG, the DMJ, the Dead Meat Jet. Let's see. Okay, so for this, Sam Lake. I'm assuming Sam Lake has something to do with it. I haven't gotten to do the
Sam Lake is the creator of.
He is the creator.
Lake. Yeah,
he is the creator. Okay,
I've met him. He's quite lovely. He's a silly little guy.
I don't know why. This ridiculous guy in a rainbow clown wig just running up to you like, "Hey, you play my game? Ah, Alan Wake."
No, he's much more of just like this very sweet man in like a very nice suit, and he's always just like so friendly, and I'm like, you're sweet.
Aww. There's
like a musical number from the second game. I haven't played the second game, so I'm not entirely sure the context, but they did dance to it for, I want to say, the Game Awards a couple years ago, and Sam Lake was like in the dance, and I think that just like perfectly encapsulates like his sweet little guy energy. He's having a great time.
Peyton McAfee has sent a super chat that said, James ignored my super chat. Please acknowledge mine. I have acknowledged you. Welcome to Dead Meat, the damage report, where we acknowledge super chats as best we can. Of course, now another technical thing. My chat screen just.
He does look like Joel McHale.
Who? Me?
No, Sam Lake. Pleo TCA says Sam Lake looks like Joel McHale. You're right.
Well, you're right. You're right. Refreshing. There we go. All right. So Sam's doing it, which means that I'm assuming it ties in some way, maybe canon-wise.
Yeah, and like especially because Control and Alan Wake have been very tied together too. I'm like, they've established this idea of like doing things that connect their universes. So I have to imagine that whatever they're doing here is going after the idea of like, this is going, not necessarily like you have to play this to know the canon, but like they're probably not breaking canon with what they're doing.
So obviously there's gonna be skins. They've reskinned the maps, and Alan Wake's voice actor, Matthew Peretta, is going to be doing narration for it as well. Oh, so this is going to be like a full, not just, hey, here's a couple skins in the... It's not going to be the, say this one, if anyone knows, the Ratatouille of Fortnite collabs. If anyone saw that. That was so lame. The rat.
Dr. Knocker said we ignored their super chat, where they said, "Congrats on getting DMG rolling. You guys rock. Thank you, Dr. Knocker." I'm sorry we missed that.
And that's why I said we try. We try to acknowledge all super chats, but also I was probably dealing with tech stuff at that time. But thank you
I
very
think
much.
so.
But I was saying the Ratatouille Fortnite collab was a trail for a car. It was just like food, like when Remy thinks about food and there's like the little things floating and whatever. That's it. We thought we were getting like a sidekick or something like that. It's like, no,
Sure.
there's a food trail.
I
Thanks.
mean, I feel like you gotta hold a Ratatouille, like a good Ratatouille Fortnite skin. You hold until they do the same thing um, with shoes, like where
Mhm.
they have like you can get different shoes and put them on any character. Once they introduce hats as a thing you can get
Oh, so you get
separately,
the
then you get like the rat or the chef's hat, but like you can see the rat through. Like
like a little silhouette.
those two options. Yeah, I think that's how you do Ratatouille Fortnite.
Oh, they'll figure out a way to monetize hats. Good old Fortnite. Um, let's see. Just gonna finish up this one here. Seeing, I'm just scanning through. So the other thing is, I haven't read these because in some ways I want to have a bit of a surprise when I'm doing this. So I'm not like fully like I've already planned what I'm going to say about everything. So I'm just doing a scan, and this seems to be like a full interview with people. So there's a lot of information on this one.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta take the information at the base, which
Yeah,
is Phasmophobia is doing Alan Wake. Sam
it's
Lake is
doing it.
writing it.
And that's pretty good. And the
Um,
voice actor
yeah.
is going to be in there. You're going to get some skins, and you're going to get some new maps that are adjusted for it. All right.
James says, but that would affect hitbox. It doesn't have to. Like you can just not be able to hit the hat.
Oh,
You
there it
couldn't hide
is.
behind stuff with a hat is a good point. That's a very good point.
Well, see, then James is so. It's just when James plays Fortnite, he's about I gotta hit the hitbox. I gotta hit like he is a sniper. He is gonna murder people and everything. And I'm just like, what quest can I do to get some XP and unlock my new song that I can fall to? Ooh, Sweet But a Psycho. I love that song. Whee! So, yes, I love playing with James, but also I get super stressed because he wants to murder everyone. Oh, goodness. So moving on to our next item, we have Silent Hill F reaches 2 million units sold worldwide. As of April 22nd, since its September launch, it sold 2 million units, which I'm assuming makes it feel pretty good. I think that's the news
Quite
that
good, yeah.
Silent Hill 2 remake surpassed 6 million players, adding another million since March. Oh, I wonder why it popped up. Well, maybe it was that when the movie came out? Popped up another million players.
Maybe, yeah. Sorry, I got distracted by James saying he's here to make kids cry, not earn imaginary points, and I found that very funny.
I'm here to just relax after my day of parenting. To
Yeah,
just go, I want to just hang out with my friends, and if we win, great. If not, I'll lock in and take care of stuff if I need to. But otherwise, I want to go look at the Simpsons house. Oh, I missed the Simpsons season. That map was so good. Mason White, Fortnitemares is rumored as a scare zone for Halloween Horror Nights.
interesting.
Ooh.
How would that?
I mean, we get our Bone Peely.
Yeah, I guess it would just be like the Fortnite stuff that is like specifically Fortnite
Yeah.
IP. Okay, that could be fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'll see a Peely going around. Just Peely's
Yeah.
killed every 10 minutes. A Peely murder. To celebrate, Konami has announced that the dual pack of both games, Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill F, will be on discount until May 28th. You got a few more days then. If you want to pick up one of the Silent Hill games, they are on discount right now, at least on the PlayStation Store. So we've got that, and then I played through all of Silent Hill F and was very excited that I now had the footage for Silent Hill F to potentially kill count. And then I learned that there was an audio error, and I have none of the audio from any of the footage.
No.
Yes.
Okay, I guess I gotta play through Silent Hill F now.
So there you go. I'll make Ben play through Silent Hill F. Well, the thing about Silent Hill F is you have to play through it multiple times to actually get the ending. Like, it changes.
Oh,
the design of the story is to continue. Like, I did not get a true ending at all. It's like, go back and now things change based on what you did in your previous playthrough. So it's an undertaking, but you can still watch my full playthrough in my Pink Bunny ears, because I had my Pink Bunny outfit that they took away from me.
Redub the audio. It would be funny, says Aiden Huckle.
Sure, maybe.
I
We'll
mean,
see.
enough of the playthrough is
That is true.
like B-roll. We don't really need that much audio saved.
That's true. That is fair. We just
Yeah.
need to, find it and then resync it. I guess if we just get
Mhm.
audio from the cutscene of another playthrough, it could work.
Yeah.
All right, so switching over. Here's one that I added, which I was excited about. 2 icons, 1 collab. Baby Metal and Resident Evil unite for 30th anniversary merch.
Cool.
I am a big fan of Baby Metal. Ben, do you know Baby Metal?
I don't know Baby Metal.
Oh,
is Baby Metal clothing? I'm assuming Baby Metal is.
Baby Metal is a band. It's God, I don't know. Again, I'm not a music guy, so as soon as I like try and describe things, I'm just like, I just like this song. Like, "Gimme Chocolate" is one of my favorite songs.
Okay. I assume they're like a heavy metal. They're a Japanese kawaii metal band formed in Tokyo. Interesting.
So it's these amazing Japanese girls singing over just intense metal.
Oh, that does kind of fuck. I'm not a huge
such a
metal
good
person.
I'm not either. And
yeah.
This was like, this is how you get me into it. You add it's such a juxtaposition of their adorable singing over just and then it goes into like more poppy riffs and things, and I'm a big pop man myself.
I'm here for the pop girlies usually. So
it's like pop
this
girlies
maybe gets
with
close
it.
enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen to Give Me Chocolate after this. But I love that they're turned into Lady Dimitrescu and her little minions there. I love the art of the poster, which you can also get on the shirt. So just wanted to throw that one out there.
I like the hoodie that is like very metal style. Yeah, that's cool.
I had one of those for Dark Crystal with Skeksis. It was very fun. But yeah, I just want to throw that one in there before we get to... there's a little bit of news that came out of Dead by Daylight this week. just a small little thing that they told us about, that Jason fucking Voorhees is coming to Dead by Daylight. It only took 10 years to get that man into Dead by Daylight. And so what I'm super excited about is that Ben and I are actually going to be going to the 10th anniversary celebration that they are doing in just a few weeks. That's
June 12th, 13th, 14th, like that weekend.
It is that
whatever days are the weekend there.
Which I think they're doing live streams of stuff, so you can be a part of it even if you're not there. And we did get to... I had this news a little bit, like this is basically right before we left and they announced this. There was a little press conference that we got to watch, and they talked about this, be like, oh, here's the thing that's happening, but don't say anything until later. So I'm like, okay, I'll shut up. But the thing that I love is, so it is in conjunction with Jason Universe. So there's Jason right there. We can see him, and this is the design that we've been seeing over and over again. But here's what I loved, is they allowed Dead by Daylight to do some weird skins. So that's why I've got my flannel on right now. I was very excited. I got my Camp Crystal Lake and my flannel, because there is a flannel Jason. Flannel Jason with his badass chained up axe. And I look at that, I'm like, that looks cool. Why is there a chain wrapped around the axe? Like, what is the reasoning for the chain being wrapped around the axe?
Sometimes things are just sick.
And then he's got the chain just burned into his arm. It's very Kratos on his one arm.
Sure. Yeah,
he's got that.
I really like the underwater one where he's like crusted over by coral and everything. I think that's
true.
It feels very like Eldritch horror, Jason.
And I'm thinking it's Davy Jones' crew. He's just
that too. Totally. Yeah. No, 100%.
He's just hanging out there, and then we got just Jason. I love the other design. They have him with just like a shovel, I guess, kind of decomposed more so. But I like that Jason's got like the glove, but then just arm bones. Like just the flesh is decayed enough that it just goes in there, and I'll just cover up my skeletal hand with a little bit of a glove there. So super excited.
It's cool because I'm like, I feel like so often when you bring characters into video games, like with Fortnite and stuff,
Yeah.
they're trying to give you the most classic version of them,
Mm-hmm.
which I get. Like I understand the logic of that, but there is kind of that weird divide where like the exclusive, not exclusive, the original to Fortnite skins I get to have a lot of fun with, and then the the not original to Fortnite skins or like Dead by Daylight skins,
Mm-hmm.
they're often having to just kind of like get as close to what people expect as possible. So it's cool that we get to see a little bit of that, like, no, this is a sandbox and you're able to play around with like what you'd expect from Jason's design.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously we get the classic, but we get to see these like fun, cool things that feel like specific to Dead by Daylight. And I really like that. I like the idea that I can do like creepy underwater ghoul character, but also it can be Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, they're very good. Some of their xenomorph skins are beautiful. I love what
Mhm.
they're, but that's also because that's also down to the licensors if they allow them to do that. Because there's some that would be like, that's
Totally.
it. You just do the truth. Like here are the things that you can do
Yeah.
with them. Do not do anything else. So the fact that they're allowing this more creative aspect is great. Obviously, I'm sure there are going to be some looks inspired by the movie more so.
Mhm.
Don't know if we'll get a Roy Burns or anything. I'm pretty sure we're not going to get Uber Jason, as most people probably really want Uber Jason, because I think the rights are still tied up that, was it Warner Brothers has Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and Freddy versus Jason. And then
Probably.
Paramount is still 2 through 8. So I think they have the rights to like 2 through 8 stuff,
Hmm.
but also they really want to focus on this design is the Jason going forward, as we saw him in the was it the hard cider ad short film that they did, Angry Orchard. That's kind of where he premiered. I don't know if you watched that at all.
I have not.
Short. Yeah, you can watch it entire. It's the first new full Jason thing we've seen in a bit. Which there's moments that I'm like, great, but there is a shot at the end of that thing that is not good. They
Hmm.
shot Jason from like far away and not even like a low angle or anything, so he looks so tiny and just like a boy at a cosplay. And I was like, oh, everything else is like kind of, oh good, we still got some of the menacing. He's big, just apple coring people. He's doing all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, all
Hmm.
right, there's some Jason there. I have to get used to this mask personally. I'm not
Sure.
a huge fan of it. It feels a little Timu Jason, a little bit like, oh, that we couldn't get the full rights to it, so we have to adjust it. I think it's mainly just the rectangle eyes myself. If we could circle out
I
those
see
eyes,
that.
I think I would be
Yeah.
so much better with this
I think
outfit.
what's interesting is that like it feels a little bit closer to an actual hockey mask to me. Like I
Really?
feel like I think so. I feel like I look at this and I see more of like yes, this is like the original Jason mask is so iconic that even though I understand that it is a just a functionally just a hockey mask,
Hmm.
I look at it and I see Jason Voorhees before I see hockey mask. Whereas
Yeah.
this is tweaked just enough that I feel like I look at it and read hockey mask a bit more, not necessarily because it is actually closer, but just
Yeah.
because it's further enough from Jason typical that it doesn't ring that same bell in my head.
Yeah. But I know that this is the Jason that we're getting this Jason. So
Yeah.
I guess there's just also thought of like, this is the Jason of like, we have Jason at home. This is the Jason we have at home. You don't need a new Jason or anything like this. I'm like, but this Jason's just off. Um,
And it
but
sounds
I'm
like
I'm
for
learning
this.
to accept it, and I'm sure once I see it in a movie and in action and kind of
Mhm.
working, I'll eventually forget that, and hopefully they can adjust it a little bit. He also just feels a little too clean. Like his pants feel super clean.
Oh, very.
He's just like the top has dirt and grime and things, and this, if it is the same Jason that we've had, and be like, you feel like he'd be a lot more rotted and disheveled. But maybe we watch him literally grabbing a new pair of pants in a new movie and just putting them on, which is not what I want to see, but that's fine. That's just me. But there's more info that's going to be coming out. I mean, we're not saying anything, but there's a ton of other announcements that are going to be happening during the 10th, which I'm so excited for, and we will definitely be covering on the channel here once we get closer to that and are not constrained by our NDAs
Mhm.
and things. But a lot of stuff you're gonna be really excited about. So we're also gonna need to dive back into Dead by Daylight on the channel for some live streams for sure.
Mhm.
Kind of take a look at all this. But he is also available today in the public test beta. So on Steam, you can go on the public test server as long as you sign up, and you can, I believe, actually try him out. But his official release is in June. So going to be really fun to see how he works and how he differentially he plays differently than the game, the Friday the 13th game, which I played all the time. That was my asymmetrical horror game, and I'm very interested to see how that one switches out. All right. Anything else you want to say about Jason?
I mean, it sounds like this is not adding maps or anything. It's
No,
just
they specifically
yeah.
said it is just the killer. And everything, every time I hear any of that, I'm just like, there's got to be some rights issues that they're still working
Sure.
out on everything. Anytime Jason is announced for anything, I'm like, they're still working on something else. But I'm sure they will try and get a Camp Crystal Lake map in there somewhere.
I feel like there's also an element of, and I haven't played Dead by Daylight, so maybe I just like have a misunderstanding of like what is and isn't in the game. But I feel like summer camp horror is such a established idea too, that I'm like, I assume they've done that already, right? Like there's already been a summer camp map in Dead by Daylight, even if it's not called Crystal Lake.
That's a good point. I haven't
Like
been
how
to
much
Dead by Daylight since its beginning, and I can't recall if they've added a camp. They must have. There must be.
Because functionally, how much can you really do like a new Camp Crystal Lake map if you've already done a summer camp map that isn't just and the name is Crystal Lake now?
Well, no, because then you start adding in the way that the
There
game
isn't a summer
did.
camp map. Interesting. Okay.
Okay,
That's a missed opportunity.
but I'm just saying that when you start adding in, like with the Haddonfield map and things like, they add in iconic areas from the
That's
movie
fair.
and things. So with this, it'd be like, oh, this is the cabin where this happened, and maybe they add in the little crime scenes or have leftover body bits from things to
Sure.
nod to various things. And there is, it depends on which one, because obviously it changed in every single movie. Like it wasn't always the same Crystal Lake that they were going to, or a different camp that they were going to.
Yeah, I guess to me, because I'm like, I feel like Friday the 13th is so much like the progenitor of summer camp horror that I'm like, I kind of feel like every summer camp you do in a horror movie is kind of like functionally kind of a clone of Crystal Lake to begin with. So I'm like, it's different to me than like Haddonfield, where it's like, yeah, there's like very iconic things to that are specific to it. Whereas it's almost like the Citizen Kane thing, where I'm like, everything kind of, you watch Citizen Kane, you're like, I've seen this before because everything pulls from Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
I feel like every summer camp horror pulls from Crystal Lake.
You can't escape it.
But I guess they haven't done that yet. There's been no summer camp, so it is kind of crazy to me that they're not going to have that. So you're probably right that there's like a rights thing that they're dealing with.
Yeah, can't go back to Higgins Haven. Sorry.
Damn.
But at the very least, we got Jason, and he has both close up. The thing also that I do want to point about Jason is he's got death animations and things that are pretty cool. I saw at least 2 of them that I'm like, oh, so he's got some like finishing move style thing. Whereas a lot of times it's just the person dies or they're on the hook and they die. And this will actually have some executions in it, which is what you need for Jason. And that was what was so awesome about the game, is they would release more, and then you get to kind of pick which ones you want for your Jason to be able to execute them in. So yeah, I'm on board for it. I'm excited. We need to get some Dead by Daylight on the channel. Maybe I'll do I wonder if I could do the public test server. You could probably do that.
Probably could.
Yeah, and see if we can try out Jason ourselves in this early access. All right, switching over, we've got Critical Reflex to publish body horror game Tiny Chills, not from the... Oh, I hate this image. Ben, I hate this image so much. Oh, just pulling a little worm thing from the ear and...
See, oh, interesting. I interpreted it more as like putting it in the ear.
That looks like it's being extracted.
I see that. I can see that
Not from
too.
ear. Not from ear. But yes, if we remember, Critical Reflex did mouthwashing. No, I'm Not Human, and Buckshot Roulette. They're the publisher, not the developer of it. Is it Ductopus Games. Oh, I love that name. Ductopus Games, and their unnatural body horror game Tiny Chills, Not From the Ear. Currently available to wishlist. Always wishlist. Simplest thing you can do to support any game you see, even if you're not going to get it yourself. If you can wishlist, it actually is a really helpful thing to any indie game to be able to go, hey, we got wishlisted this much time. We can get some more funding, things like that. So simple thing you can do if you are on Steam.
It's like, commenting, and subscribing, which you should do here.
Well done, Ben. Well done.
Thank you.
You keep us on there. I love it. So let's see. You need to do. Let's read it. The town has been plagued by disappearances, leaving the police baffled. Seemingly unrelated, the town also experienced a rash of grotesque anomalies, where the locals keep complaining about ringing in their ears or even feeling things scratching beneath their flesh. As a result, you need to do your duty as a physician and dig into your patient's auditory canals to remove the rotting growths. Oh,
okay, you're
no.
right. It is being pulled out.
Insects and all manner of things that should never be found in any human ear. Oh, I'm gonna have to play
absolutely
this.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Oh, I'm streaming this. There's no way I'm not streaming this. Oh no. The deeper you descend into the clinic's daily routine, the more the town itself begins to unravel. Something is not right here. Something is not right here. Yes, the fact that there's so much stuff in people's ears. Something writhes beneath the walls, beneath the skin, beneath the distant buzzing in your ear, and there is something more than meets the eye in this town. Optimus Prime. All right, I'm on board. I'm on board. I will absolutely be keeping an eye on it. I will wishlist it, and I will add it to my... There is so many things on a list of games now. I have an endless list of games that I want to play on
It just keeps going.
It's amazing how much good stuff we're going to be getting. I'm excited. All right, so moving on. This is... What do we have? 11 games from 2026's 6-1 Indie Showcase we added to our Steam wish list. Oh, so is this just some games that we should keep an eye out?
Yeah. So 6-1 Indie is an indie games company. Like, they don't make indie games. They're a game. They're I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. I don't want to say like content, like digital media company. There we go. 6-1 Indie is a digital media company focused on indie games. They're actually friends of mine. I've known them for a long time. And a few years ago, they started doing like showcases focused on indie games. So I did not get the chance to watch the showcase, but Game Informer did. And they went through and selected some of the games that looked most interesting to them. And there were 3 horror games in here that I thought sounded interesting. So I dropped this here so that we could take a look at those real quickly.
I love it. I'm also going to say, M. Davis, thank you for the super chat. Just finished my Fear the Spotlight playthrough last night. Thank you again for sending me a copy of this amazing game. Thank you for watching our incredible Directive 8020 live stream where we were doing some giveaways. And thank you to Blumhouse Games for donating that copy to us. Louise Blaine.
Shout out Blumhouse Games, man.
They gave such glorious support to our little Fear the Spotlight stuff, and I really appreciate it. And I got to meet Louise Blaine, the creative, I want to say creative director. I apologize if that's not actually her title, but she's like...
That might be her title?
She's
in charge.
She's in charge. She's in charge.
Yeah.
Just an amazing human. So I'm very excited to have gotten to meet her and to give some publicity to Fear the Spotlight, because I've seen actually in the comments a lot of people haven't actually played of it or knew of it, which I thought was crazy, because I'm like, oh yeah, you know this one? Like, no, it's
it's an interesting thing where I'm like, I assumed Fear the Spotlight would have a much bigger like when the game came out, when it was announced, I was like, oh, it's Blumhouse's first published video game. This is gonna have a lot of eyes on it because it's Blumhouse's first published video game. And like, it definitely has like a quite strong fan base of people who played it, but I don't think it ever quite had, like, it never had like the mouth-washing
word of
eyes
mouth
on it. Yeah. So I was quite pleased to see that we were able to put more eyes on it. I also had a lot of friends who, like, because I was posting, on my socials, being like, oh, we're like, this video is out today. I had a lot of friends who replied to that and were like, I love Fear the Spotlight. So I'm like, it's a good game.
It's good, and it's made by...
And Brian and Krista seem fantastic. They seem so cool. I want to be friends with them.
Cool. They even agreed to do my ridiculous thruple joke at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, that's fun.
I
Good sense
watched.
of
You
humor.
also did the interview with them.
Oh yeah.
That we published on Saturday, like the full hour-long interview I listened to, which was quite good.
Hmm.
Um, and you were talking to him where you're like, "Oh yeah, like you worked on like The Last of Us and you worked on Uncharted," and I'm just like sitting in the corner like, "And he worked on Journey, Zorn, and he worked on the best video game ever made, Zorn."
I apologize. I have never played Journey.
You should. It's so
I
good.
I know, but there's many games out there, and if if you can figure out a horror way of me live streaming it, I would love to do
Um,
that.
I'll think about it.
Okay, you think of that. So let's take a look at this. So Blue Ridge Hunting is one that I've actually heard of, which is horror and low poly aesthetics go together like peanut butter and jelly. Co-op cryptid hunting game marries the two to seemingly great effect, while also telling a story about the quest to track down Mothman. I know there's a lot of folks on the Dead Meat team who love Mothman.
I love
I
Mothman.
I don't know much about Mothman as a cryptid
I mean, you don't need
myself.
to know that much to love him. I just think he's a cute guy.
that's, that's fair. That's fair. So this is a co-op cryptid hunting game, which is on my wish list, but I have not gotten to play it yet. But maybe now I should focus on this. And it says it's in the midst of a Kickstarter campaign, which you can support
Yeah.
at this link.
And there's a demo available now.
Okay.
I think all
Oh,
of
I
the
could add
horror
that to
games.
demo.
I was gonna say I think all the horror games on this list, aside from one, has a demo available. 3 specifically, so you could do a clean run of Digital Demons.
Digital
based off of-
Demons, the show where I play 3 different demos and then decide on what game to fully play through.
Mhm.
All right, so I'm assuming this other one is Midnight Horde.
Absolutely is.
Yeah, I'm like, that's scary looking. Put it simply, Midnight Horde looks like Vampire Survivors if you were doing parkour the whole time. I have played so much Vampire Survivors.
And I've done so much parkour.
Yeah, so it works out well for both of us. I think we can. We're both excited for this. I've spent many late nights. I had to stop playing Vampire Survivors.
Have you tried the new one?
The more 3D, the first person-y version
Yeah,
of
it's
it?
like it's a deck building roguelike
Yes.
rather than yeah.
Yes, I have not played that one. I got so addicted to the previous one and its gameplay loop and being able to have all these things spinning around me and just like melting waves of bad guys. Like that's something to kill count right there. You do thousands of murders. Hey, that's how
You'll
we beat
kill
Nemesis
Addison.
Blue. That's how we
You'll-
beat. No, at least with this one, it 100% breaks down everything like you kill
Oh.
at the end. But there's
Okay.
not really a story to it. So it's not kill countable because there's not really a story. It's just
Sure.
I'm gonna do this so that it gets higher than Nemesis Blue and I take back the belt. That's why.
I mean, I think there's just a separate belt for games.
We
in my
should. We
opinion.
should actually.
Yeah.
We should do a separate belt for games. It won't be as nice as the one that was made for James. I don't think.
I doubt it. Yeah.
But
I don't even know where James got that.
it'll just be a belt buckle, is what it'll be. A nice
That'd be fun though.
16-bit Dead Meat Games belt buckle.
I think I think there's something kind of charming to the idea of like you could actually wear this around.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Not bad. I like it. More merch there. Make some more. We need some Dead Meat Games merch now.
Yeah, we'll work on it.
Let's see. So we gain upgrades, your magical abilities, fend off waves of enemies between encounters. I've got no idea how it feels to play, but it looks so bonkers. I can't wait to try it. And there's a demo as well. All right. And Midnight Horde to this. And then
The final one, well, not the final one. There was actually another one that I feel like might have been added after the fact when I looked at this, or I just missed it. But Grey Tail, which is like horror noir vibes from the aesthetics, apparently.
I was wondering. I was like, this looks like it could be. I see eyes creepily watching them in the background. Let's see. It's a. It was Zelda-like, so I was surprised to see its aesthetics fit more of a horror noir vibe. You play as a man. What looks like a decidedly mundane arsenal of weapons and tools, including a cane, an umbrella, and a crossbow. Crossbow is just a mundane weapon. Just whatever.
I'm looking at the Steam page, and it definitely is giving like vintage Zelda, but I am also seeing like this kind of looming feeling of horror to it.
Let me see.
Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah.
very Zelda. I like that they do this like overlay of the tree lighting on here. I pulled up a couple images on our stream here. Oh wow, this looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. I love this aesthetic. All right. Cool. There's a demo of that available too. Got to add that to my list. Thank you. I don't know where. Nope, I lost where we're going. There we go. So Gray Tale, and then I see the last one on here that I'm very familiar with. Grave
Of
Seasons.
course.
Blumhouse Games. Latest one that Louise informs me is everything that she wanted it to
Oh,
be.
hell yeah.
She's like, it could have gone in different ways and such, but she's like, it's very exciting. And I hear that this one's going to be at Summer Games Fest for sure.
Yeah, and I
Gotta
played
be-
it a little bit at Summer Games Fest last year as well.
Mhm.
It's like I feel like playing it, it's hard to talk about or to feel what the game really is in the same way that like I don't think I could get a strong feel for Stardew Valley
Yeah.
playing it for like 30 minutes. Like that's just like it's just not a game that is designed in a way where 30 minutes sitting down with it is going to give you any sense of like what this is.
Yeah.
But the art was cool. I'm excited to see what's progressed in the past year. And I'm very excited that Luis seems pumped about it because I love Stardew Valley. I love Stardew Valley and I love horror.
It looks great. Visually, I really like the style of it, and I'm just excited. I mean, it's such a great idea. Here's farming sim and then murder. Great.
And there's two other stories I put in here
Mhm.
that are also talking about like farming sim horror
I see
games
this.
that are coming out.
I was
Yeah.
curious when I first got it because they're all from GameSpot. I was like, is this the same article over and over again? It was like, no, we have Haunted Chocolatier.
Haunted Chocolatier, which is from the developer of Stardew Valley. It's his next game.
Oh, that's actually okay.
Like this is Stardew Valley's successor, essentially proper. And we've known about this for a long time. I've been very excited about this game for a long time. But what's interesting about this article is the confirmation that it's not like because I think my assumption about this game for the entire time that I've heard about it is it's going to be more like cute witch chocolate making vibes, which I'm sure is part of it.
Okay.
But it sounds like it is also going to be leaning a bit more into creepy, like horror spell casting elements as well, which I'm very pumped for. I love spooky witch shit.
And
that is
Radar-
probably my favorite, just like vibe of horror.
Radar the Brave is also very excited in the chat with you.
Hell
for
yeah.
Haunted Chocolatier. So this is
And like
cute. Is there
I love
any-
Stardew Valley.
Oh, here we go. Oh, those are Stardew Valley mods at the bottom there.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do this with? Ah, it's gonna be too.
Let's make sure.
No, I don't want to watch it. It's got ads. I was going to quickly look
trailer?
at the trailer, but that's fine.
I mean, it looks like Stardew Valley. Like I'm clicking through it right now. It looks very much like Stardew Valley. The aesthetic is very similar. The graphics are very similar, which makes sense.
Okay.
Concerned Ape is still a very small developer. Like it's crazy he's able to make as much as he is able to make.
Amazing.
But I'm quite pumped. I'm quite pumped for like Stardew Valley meets creepy magic stuff meets
All right.
like Willy Wonka.
Oh, because you're making chocolate and everything like that. Yeah. Done.
Yeah.
And that's what I like is that we can do things that aren't fully horror, and I think that's, it's got the horror darkness to it and everything that we could play. And I like cozy horror as a thing,
Yeah.
which apparently is, I think, a genre of games now. Cozy horror games.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that like I think that genre is hard to like quantify ever.
Yes.
Like, it's a conversation we have in movies too, where we're like, genre is fake. Like some things squarely fall within the like confines of a specific genre, but like you expand, like, I'm not scared watching the original Dracula or like the original Frankenstein movies, like the Universal classics.
Yes.
But like we consider those horror movies, and then it becomes like, okay, well then is anything that has a vampire in it horror by that same nature? And I think in like movies, you often end up leaning more towards the idea of like, yeah, like it's a horror movie if it's like a vampire, especially like a gothic vampire thing. But then you get into video games and you're like, okay, well now now how you engage with it also becomes part of the genre. And then it's
Yes.
this weird thing where it's like, okay, this is like a gothic vampire game, but it's more of an action game than a game where you get scared. Does that make it not horror, or was that still horror? I don't know
That's
anymore.
where I think Blood Rain. Blood Rain was basically, it was a very much an action game, but you were a vampire, and so you'd jump on to refill
Yeah.
your energy. You'd jump on, you'd suck their blood, you'd get your life back, and then you'd go just had double guns. So it was very Matrix, just run and gun game on there. That I'm like,
Yeah.
well, there's horror elements. You're still sucking the blood out of people and all of this. It's basically what we're going to have passion for on here, but I allow us to do all of the things. But of course, right now I'm trying to focus more on like what is really horror.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then I did Midnight Walk, which is very Tim Burton-y and has some horror stealth stuff to it, but it's so cute and just I love that game. I'll always have a special place for it. That was my first stream on the channel there. All right, so Moonlight Peaks is like Stardew Valley, but with vampires and goth girlfriends. Ooh, kissy
Which
vampires.
which also will say this article written by my friend Jessica Cogswell,
Mm-hmm.
very her header.
Mm-hmm.
Vampires and goth girlfriends is such a her thing to front and
Amazing.
center with this.
It seeks to bridge the gap between the cozy and the macabre. Ooh, offering up a lighthearted life sim experience set in a world filled with vampires, werewolves, witches, and seers. After spending around 5 hours with Moonlight Peaks, I found a fair amount to enjoy. Its vibrant yet moody color palette and lush environments being chief among them. All right. The game feels a bit bare bones right now in the demo, but of course, any of these, like Ben, you were saying, it's hard to know from just playing a section of these
Yeah.
sim kind of games to like get into it, and if the gameplay loop is rewarding, and then if story unfolds and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that.
Mm-hmm. I like the art style a lot
That's
though.
that's a very cute art style.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're getting that. It seems like all of these have quite distinct art styles. Like obviously, Haunted Chocolatier again is very Stardew Valley in aesthetic because it's the same
Mm-hmm.
developer, but Grave Seasons does not look aesthetic like in terms of the actual design
Yes.
aesthetic like Stardew Valley, and this doesn't look like Grave Seasons or Stardew Valley, and
Mm-hmm.
um I quite like that we're getting like very different versions of this.
It looks like they're doing
And
a Harry Potter wand battle on this table on the picture I pulled up. Sorry, continue.
no, I'm trying to find because I'm not looking at what you're looking at. I'm just looking at the article myself. So I'm trying to find. Oh, I
There's a
see. I
still right
see.
there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This
Don't
is
point that
very.
wand at me.
Look, man, I will take any opportunity for fun wizard stuff where I don't have to support a piece of shit.
All right, let's get real political on first episode of
It's not real
Damage
political for
Reports.
me to say fuck a transphobe.
I guess. I guess not. It feels political, but all right. Oh, all right. We got designs. We got hair design. We got all kinds of things. Oh, look, cute little needlepoint. You could do some needlepoint of a creepy owl. That's what I want. I want to do. I'm sure there's a game out there where you can do like the art, do the kind of like a pixel art, and then it turns it into a 3D thing. Like that would be a way of designing a creature or something. Like I have this
So
one picked up. Uh-oh.
So it's not exactly what you're saying,
Okay.
but that does kind of exist in Tomodachi Life.
Okay.
Because Tomodachi Life, part of it is like you can create stuff to go around your world. Like you can create pets for your Tomodachis. And it's not like that is a grid system. You are essentially doing pixel art to create them. So I've seen people make like the pixel sprites of Pokemon to give to their Tomodachi to give to their Mii characters as pets. It doesn't become three-dimensional. It stays as like a 2D
Okay.
image, but you can create and like you can also make like clothing and you can make like furniture for and like walls and stuff. So there is a little bit of that in Tomodachi. You don't get the 3D transformation effect, but if you want to do that, you can do that with pets.
Hey, kakosti Alman. I got the zdravo in chat there. I will also say my Serbian is very very limited. I used to know it more as a kid when I lived with my grandmother, but there's still some Serbian living in this head. Um, so So the Tamagotchi life, I see a lot of people have also designed me and James and Chelsea and put them into the
I've seen
game.
those, yeah.
Thanks in the
I've seen
Reddit,
those.
the Dead Meat Reddit, and I think I don't know if I was romantically linked or someone with like Pale Grin from Happy Hills Homicide was
Good
in
for
one of the.
you.
I was just
I'm
like,
happy for
I
you
seem to
guys.
like they seem to have similar interests.
Hmm. I Tomodachi Life is so silly. Great time. Great time
Epic
that game.
Fox Games asked if I've played any of the popular 2010s indies. I have played Doki Doki Literature Club. There is a full stream that you can watch with me and my wife Megan. It's
Two of
very
them.
fun. We get absolutely I traumatized that beautiful woman that I married. And Bendy and the Ink Machine I have played actually. And FNAF. I put a different accent on it. FNAF. And I have briefly played the first game, but I'm so out of the Five Nights world. But I want to get more into it with this channel and figure out how to do it. Because everyone asks if I can kill count that first game. I do not see a way of kill counting that first game because there's also not really any kills. It's all backstory, if that, and it's just the one shot. And I don't know how I'm gonna just use that for B-roll footage for the entire like game and then talking about everything behind that. But that's why I have Tim to get into all the fun, all the lore, all the Five Nights lore. All right, and then there's so what do we now? I pop over to eBay's rejection letter to GameStop's $56 billion bid pulls absolutely no punches. We have concluded that your proposal is neither credible nor attractive.
Now, like obviously, this with this being the first Damage Report
Yes.
Episode, obviously we're a horror games news show, but the games industry, like it all intertwines. Like you talking about this like horror in video games, you're also going to be talking about video games broadly. GameStop is obviously like a very big player in video games space and video game sales space. GameStop tried to buy eBay. A crazy thing.
GameStop is not a profitable company. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like we're really seeing this like last gasp of GameStop. Recently, where like they offloaded, they shut down Game Informer a couple years ago.
Oh, they did. Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with that. Game Informer got shut
Didn't
down.
we just have an article from Game Informer?
Yes, because which is actually like the very exciting part is Game Informer got shut down, and then the people who worked at Game Informer who had lost their jobs about 6 months later were like, we've gotten the ownership rights to Game Informer. We're starting it back up independently now. So now Game Informer is an entirely independent. They still send out magazines. I get them. They're great. But GameStop has been doing this kind of like final dying gasps thing for a while.
Oh God, yes.
I don't know if you've seen them on Twitter, but they're doing very obnoxious stuff. They're really trying to kind of glaze Donald Trump's boots.
Oh, good.
Yeah. They've done a lot of AI image stuff. It's a lot of really gross things. And yeah, no, they've been circling the drain for a while, and this was a crazy thing. But like something that also made me quite nervous, where I was like, what if they pull this off? I really don't want GameStop to buy eBay. But thankfully they didn't. So it seems like GameStop is just marching further and further into oblivion.
Who knows? Who knows what random thing they're going to do next that will somehow... They're just like, throw things and something's going to catch and we'll pull ourselves out. We shall see. I know that they stole some money from me for the GameStop Pro thing. I was going to sell a bunch of things and I had signed up for it, and then they never actually gave me the membership, but then they didn't refund my money, so I don't really know. And I finally had to stop dealing with their support because it was just really annoying. And I'm like, I don't have time for this. Fine, I lost. I shouldn't have done this. But good for eBay for just going, no. Goodbye.
Yeah, no.
Please leave.
Like, you're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Good. I love eBay. They probably have bad things too. But
all right. Speaking of Game Informer, we got one here from Game Informer for the report of Sorrows and Ghosts of, how do you say? Yote aren't coming to PC as PlayStation charts a return. Oh yeah, so PlayStation they have been, after year or more, releasing their PlayStation exclusives on PC. So you get Spider-Man, God of War, I think Returnal as well. But Saros, which I believe is the spiritual sequel to Returnal, if it's the
Yeah, with
same.
Raul Coley as like the lead,
Yeah,
it seemingly is the more Returnal being very like it is a roguelite, it is kind of light on story, it is heavy on gameplay,
yeah.
it's very hard. Saros is kind of like a slight reconfiguring of that, where it's story heavier, it is seemingly easier, though still not easy.
Yeah.
And it's less of a roguelite, is my understanding.
Yeah, so we aren't getting things on PC, which is weird. So I used to be very much a console gamer. I have moved away from it since this job. Basically, I become a PC gamer, and it's now Steam all the way for me, because it's nice to have kind of future proofed in a lot of ways, and I get to play so many old games that just don't exist on the console
Mhm.
anymore, because I was all Xbox 360 for so long, and then I switched to PlayStation with the PS4, and then I was like, I gotta rebuy all these games because I spent all this money on all my Xbox stuff, and then I'm like, now I gotta do it again, and now I'm doing it again, but with Steam. They're usually on sale, so many sales and things that I can just go, I just bought all the Resident Evils for like $4 each. So now I have
Mhm.
those for this point forward, and I'm very much a PC gamer now. So this is sad news that we won't be able to get that stuff. I still have my PS5, which I will use from time to time. That's what I was playing Mixtape on,
Mhm.
mainly because I wanted to play that with Megan so she could see what it was, and she went,
I
neat.
Yeah, I tend to my PS5, I feel like tends to be the games I buy where I'm like, I know I don't want to play this on a small screen.
Mm-hmm.
For horror games too. I have like Resident Evil 2 on my PS5 that I haven't played yet, but I'm like, I know I want to play this on a big screen
Mm-hmm.
at night when it's dark. This is good to own on my PS5.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like this is a pretty big indicator of the direction the industry is going to be moving, or more accurately, like not moving
Mm-hmm.
going forward. Because I think that there's been a few years where I think it has seemed like maybe consoles are dying, or
Yeah.
at least the majority of consoles are dying. Maybe we are moving towards more of a like, yeah, you have the Switch, but otherwise games really like you can get a PC and play most, if not all, video games outside of Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe Sony and Xbox, especially Xbox with their move towards like everything's an Xbox marketing. It seemed like the idea of a physical console was going out the window.
Yep.
And this kind of seems like Sony pivoting back. And I think Xbox has been doing the same with their new head of Xbox, in terms of like more cementing like, no, we are a console company, and understanding also that to the same way that you're saying like you moved to PC because you could get those games on PC. I think a big thing that makes consoles valuable, especially still when it's cheaper and cheaper to get a functioning good PC, is those exclusives. Is being able
Oh
to be
yeah.
like, I think for me, so many times the thing that makes me buy a new console is I want to play XYZ thing. And if you don't
Yep.
do that, if I can play for as much as I think that the games industry like bounces back and forth around the idea of like how much do exclusives matter, how much is this, how much is that, I'm like, I kind of think they still matter a lot. Even if someone doesn't buy that many of them, the knowledge of the fear of missing out of, oh, I can't play Spider-Man if I don't own a PS5,
Yep.
or I can't play Pokopia if I don't buy a Switch 2,
Mm-hmm.
is the thing that makes you buy the new console.
That is the only reason I own a Switch 2 is Mario Kart World. I have
Yeah,
an agreement with
totally.
Nintendo that when they release a new Mario Kart, I will make sure I bought a Wii U. No one else bought a Wii U, but I
I
was
bought a
like,
Wii U.
there's a Mario Kart, there's a new Mario Kart on it. Done. I have purchased
Hmm.
that. But nice to know that you also bought one too, Ben.
Yeah.
We were
I think I bought
Wii U
it
brothers.
for the Wind Waker remake that I never ended up actually getting. Because I was a kid still, like I was in high
Yeah.
school, I think. So I was like, I asked my parents for a Wii U for Christmas, and then I was like, and eventually I'll buy Wind Waker, and then I never got around to
Mm,
buying Wind Waker
that's
because I
fair.
had
I
limited
mean,
money.
that one did not last that long, I feel. Wii U
Yeah.
was definitely
No,
very
that was
short-lived.
a bad time in
It was
Nintendo's
just them
history.
testing their technology with the screen and everything and being like, oh, well, if we just do this, great. And then they had their hit. Um, but yeah, I don't mind. It's sad, but I think it is good for their business model that they have an exclusive, because otherwise there's no reason to buy it. You're just like, I'll just wait till it's on PC.
I think it's the only way that PlayStation really continues, or any console
Yeah,
manufacturer really
any
continues in
console.
like in a real way, and not
Yeah,
even just like because like they could do the thing where they're like, oh, we're just a game production studio now. We don't
like
make
Sega,
a
and that
console. We
worked
just
well for
make
Sega.
yeah, but it's also like you do lose a lot of significance in the industry, and maybe that doesn't matter to them. Maybe like fundamentally economically, that's not that big of a deal.
Hmm.
But like you don't think about Sega in the same way you think about Sony. Sony is like a pillar of video
Yes.
games, and Sega isn't. And I think being a console manufacturer kind of is the thing that cements that.
People in chat are asking for a Mario Kart kill count now. I would love to figure out how to do that, but I don't think it's possible. No one ever dies in Mario Kart. You just get knocked over. And if you do die, you get pulled back up from the little guy in the cloud. Lakito? What is his name? Ah,
It's a Mario Kart kill count, but we're not counting the kills in Mario Kart. We're counting all the rage kills committed amongst the Dead Meat team while playing through it together.
Or the crabs on the beach. I think the crabs get killed. I think when we drive through them, they actually die. Or any of the things we run into. Zorn is looking so disappointedly at the chat.
The true Duckman says Sony was a tech company before a game company. Yeah, they were.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And then they still are.
And they're a
like,
movie company as well. So, you know,
Yeah.
they're all the things. But I agree that
and Nintendo was a card game manufacturer before they were a game company.
And now look at them. Look at them
Yeah.
now. But yeah, I think it's an interesting shift back to the exclusivity, and you know, I'll keep figuring out if I can make all the consoles work, but there's only so much money. I didn't get a PS5 Pro. I didn't see the big jump or reason to do that in this.
It becomes I've never gotten a Pro console unless I for whatever reason just like haven't. I guess if you count the Nintendo Switch OLED, I guess I have, but that's more me being like,
Yeah.
I want a nice screen on this handheld.
Yeah, OLED
Like,
is pretty. Oof.
The more advanced consoles become, the more and more pros just seem like entirely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm sure for some people it matters, but like I look at them as back like the two things compared, and I'm like, I don't have good enough eyesight for this apparently.
Yep. All right, let's go on over to. We had a couple trailers, but I know we've
We did.
also been going long, so I don't know if we'll be able to watch all.
I
of them.
mean, we don't have to necessarily watch through them because
It's the
we
first episode.
we're figuring out our pacing. We're figuring out also because we're doing 2 weeks worth of news per episode.
That's true.
So that's and I feel like James's live stream and the live streams that we've done for the main news stream have both been hour 20 frequently. So
Okay.
we have a little
All
bit
right.
of time to kill.
All right. Well, this one is inspired by the Exit 8, which I will point out is our next podcast, which I'm
It is.
very excited for. The Anomaly horror game Table 9 launches on June 9th. Look at that. Look at that synergy. Looking to capitalize on the Exit 8, solo developer Usama Indie Dev has been working on their own twist the formula with Table 9, a short first-person psychological horror game set inside a looping late-night European-style specialty cafe. You won't have to wait long for it, as the game will launch on June 9th. Oh, let's take a quick look at this one. It's literally 30 seconds.
It feels very today, obviously.
What? Someone just posing? Sexy.
Ava in the chat asks when the Exit 8 pod will be out. We'll discuss that when we discuss upcoming news. Shout out Ava Enriquez, designer of the Dead Meat Games logo. Not the Dead Meat part, obviously. That was still Beth.
Yes.
But the games part.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Ava. You did a wonderful
Thank
job.
you, Ava.
You can see it in the corner of the screen. I put it down there. Okay, so that's interesting. It's a different, it doesn't have the realism style. Like the people are more mannequin
Yeah.
kind of
like polygony.
polygony.
Yeah.
There's
which
so
is
many
fun.
I'm so fascinated, and I feel like I want to do a video just about the job sim games.
Yeah.
The job sim horror games specifically. There's so many. It's like you own a sushi shop, you own a convenience store, you own this thing, and you just do the job stuff, and then also there's creepy stuff that happens. Like there's so many of them. And I'm like, is this just related to unemployment in our country and people just wanting to have a job? Or just
I think
like,
it's also kind of the opposite too, where it's like the mundanity of the jobs of
mhm,
like our of jobs we do and just like repeated, especially like with the economy being worse and worse, where people are
yeah,
having to work more and more hours and it feeling more and more meaningless, especially, like there was a time when you could work at Sears and like make a good living off of that and like have a family. And
yeah,
now you go to your work at the corner store, or you go to your work at the grocery store, or whatever, like these jobs where you're not paid enough to really live, and your work, and like I remember working at like Jamba Juice as a kid, and I got paid very shit, and that is
hmm,
also the most tired I've ever been doing an 8-hour shift. Like working, like as stressful as work can be doing other jobs, I have never ended a day of dead meat nearly as physically exhausted as I was working 8 hours, like on my feet at Jamba
oh,
Juice.
that's where I
And
was TCBY Blimpie making
mhm,
sandwiches and ice cream. Like, oh man, you get that lunch rush and you don't even know what time it is, and you're just like,
mhm,
sandwich. Okay, go, go, go. Just keep going. Just keep going. It's insane.
mhm. So I think there is that element of just like the fundamental dread of like of just being trapped in that space and being exhausted and
Hmm.
not really having anything else. Not that you don't have like other parts of your life that matter to you, but just like you're not making enough money. So like living is hard when you don't have
Yes.
money.
And that's the horror, but then they add monsters on top of it. And now they're adding anomalies that you have to identify within
Hmm.
the stuff there. As if it wasn't stressful enough, just maintaining the job. But I just think back now, like, does this stem from a little bit of Five Nights at Freddy's? Because that's basically you get a job in a weird
That loop.
place, that loop of just do these things at your job, but then weird shit's gonna happen.
Hmm.
You can probably trace it back quite a bit. We'll get Bella on that. We'll have Bella, our researcher, do some research into all those because it's a fascinating whole subgenre of games that I'm curious where it all kind of started, and I don't see it going away because they're also pretty easy to do. It's like when you do an indie horror movie, you usually want to do one that's set in a single location to save money. And for a game developer, it's like, oh, well, we just design this one area, we do this gameplay mechanic, and that's it. Instead of now we're going over here, now we have to design this and do all this.
Hmm.
Good way of doing an indie game. All right. I also skipped over apparently. Poppy's Playtime Chapter 5 comes to Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch on May 27th.
Yes.
I have played two of the Poppy Playtimes chapters, one of
I've played
which
3 or 4, I think.
the Huggy Wuggies coming out of pipes is one of my most hated things in all of video games. So the goal being, because Chapter 5 is not the last chapter, correct?
I think 6 is supposed to be.
I know people ask about covering Poppy's Playtime or Poppy. I always say Poppies. You want to say Poppies, but it's Poppy Playtime. Um, for covering it is I was hoping that Chapter 5 is going to be the last one and I could play through all of them and then maybe do one video kind of covering everything. But also they get longer and longer each time. Whereas that first game is like an hour and then they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I wanted to do kind of a whole story, but we'll still figure that out.
Yeah.
But probably not until the final chapter of Poppy comes out because we've got plenty of other things to cover in the meantime. Michael has not played in a single chapter of it. Well, just go play chapter 2 and play the Huggy Wuggy pipe section. I hate it so much. There's going to be so angry. This was before I did live streams, and there's just me recording audio by myself that I would send to the editors, and it's just I'm losing my mind at this section.
I've when I've played Poppy Playtime, I played it with like a bunch of my friends on a couch, like passing off the controller, and I think that is like the ideal way to play that game because
Mm-hmm.
it's not good, but it is very silly. And like
There's
I
good
think
things to it. There's some puzzle stuff that I like,
yeah,
and I think they're well done, and the character designs are great. Like it's creating its own world. So I am interested to see what more happens in that. And
I
they
know. Yeah.
continue.
No, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I've got nothing to say anymore about anything ever. I'm done. Good night.
Okay. I know mascot horror is in many ways overplayed. I do quite like mascot horror. I just find it like fun.
It can be. There's plenty of fun things. Like just looking at this image. This is a thing I like. Just a creepy robot hand cutting up some kind of cutesy little thing. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of good to be done in mascot horror. And it's good for getting people like a lot of mascot horror is gateway horror because you have the cutesy aspect of it
Yeah.
and it gets people into it. And I appreciate because it's a lot of puzzle stuff and I love puzzle stuff and the hands and figuring out how to make
Mhm.
everything work. It's an interesting mechanic and it sets itself apart from other mascot horror because it's got recognizable, good designed characters. And there's a reason that it's continued onward. And 8-Bit Gaming is still waiting for me to play Killer Frequency. I have not. Is Killer Frequency? It feels more actiony than horror, but I could be crazy if I'm thinking of a different game.
Uh, First-person horror adventure game developed and published by Team 17 in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
No, this looks pretty like this is like a slasher. Again, it's the same thing where it's like
Okay, then I'm thinking of maybe I'm thinking of like Killer 7 or something else. There's something else I'm thinking of. Sorry.
yeah. Again, it's the same thing where it's like video games have genre in terms of tone, but also genre in terms of mechanic, and sometimes those things are not both horror. But what does that mean?
I do not know.
Yeah.
I do not know. All right, we gotta jump to the next thing.
4 new horror titles. Is that the one you're opening?
This is, yeah, Playism unveils 4 new horror titles during an event. Yeah, instead of just one. Exit 8 publisher Playism, busy during the Playism game show event, unveiling several new titles, including 4 new horror games. So these, we're not going to be able to watch all these trailers, so I'm just going to go. Fans of Rusted Moss will be happy to know that Emless and developer Mini Bunnies, I just love the names of developers. They're so wonderful. Are returning to the game world with Iron Bramble, a momentum-based Metrovania game that inherits...
Metroidvania.
Did I not say Metroidvania? Apologies.
I thought you said Metrovania.
No, Metroidvania. Well, now I gotta do the voiceover trick now. Metroidvania. If you ever are stumbling over saying a sentence or anything like that, just say the sentence with your tongue out, and then you're able to like undo that tongue tie pretty
interesting.
Easily. It's a great tip for public speaking or anything. The game is set in a mysterious giant mechanism known as the Iron Bramble. The game mixes sci-fi and dark fantasy where players follow Lilac as she battles robots possessed by the souls of the dead. I like it. Although Metroidvanias can get a little confusing and overwhelming depending on the timing. And like, it's all about map design and I'm
always overwhelmed by Metroidvanias.
Yeah.
No matter how good they are, I really liked my playthrough of Hollow Knight, but I hit a point where I was just like, I don't know what's going on anymore. I've lost track.
We then have the dream of a cockspur. Wow, that person's got made fun of in high school. All right, cockspur. Cockspur.
I was reading it as Cockspur.
Yeah, that's fine. That's better. It sounds like my buddy Cusper, but Cockspur. A point-and-click horror adventure title that sees players stranded on a desolate island. 6 investigators have come to investigate a mysterious celestial body that has landed on the island. The investigation proceeded smoothly for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. But that day, before the researchers were set to return to the mainland, their boat is mysteriously damaged. What follows is a surreal adventure where nothing is as it seems. Wow, Jesus. There's so much that's been released. All right, then we've got A Passing in the Night. Complementing the dream of Cockspur is the adventure department developer Iris and their 3D psychological horror adventure game, A Passing in the Night, also launching later this year on Steam. I'm just muting this and I'm just skipping through.
That's what I'm doing right now, yeah.
Okay.
I like the visuals for this.
Visuals are cool.
Yeah.
Oh, when he takes the photo? That's fun. Oh man, I love when people get creative with their visuals. I also have to just quickly look at
こ
Cockspur.
の物語のすべては
All right. What does that even look like? Right now, it's just claymation, fetus, and oh wow, it's like weird FMV style kind of stuff laid on top of other things with a lot of claymation actually. Oh, this looks bizarre. So bizarre. Oh no, I don't like that talking mouth. Okay, I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna stop that right now. Wow. Kind of mist-like. Looks like you're exploring areas with some FMVs in them. And then finally we have Midnight Train New Moon, which will be heading to Steam next year. A remake of the free 2020 game Midnight Train follows Luna Windell, a girl traveling by train in search of a certain place, as we all are. Before she knows it, all the passengers inside the train have vanished without a trace, and the train has stopped in a strange void. The only other person remaining on the train is Neil, an aspiring detective. Together, the two leave the train and enter a building in the void. There, the two discover a strange pocket watch, along with a note. Find the next train. It departs in 3 hours. If you fail, you'll be trapped here forever. All right, and this is, yeah, definitely a little more 2D side-scroller feel.
Very like visual novel kind of
Visual novel.
conversations. Yeah.
Almost RPG
Yeah.
kind of like layout.
I like it.
I just watched her hack. That's so great. I gotta play that again. I'm sorry. She's just hacking with a giant sword and then puts it down and then just goes, it's just this murder. Oh, I love it. Doesn't have the same horror vibe of the other ones, but could be more of a spooky adventure.
Spooky void train. I think that's fun. I like a puzzle.
Anytime I think trains and creepiness, I think Infinity Train.
That's what I was going to say. The exact same thing.
Such a good show.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant show. If you have not watched Infinity Train, highly recommend. All right, and then we've got wield the Genesis configuration in the new Hellraiser Revival gameplay video. Am I allowed to play this? No. Literally, this video is age restricted and only available on YouTube. I'm not going to get this flagged with all the nudity and things in it, but I am super excited for it. But hey, we've moved on from the Lament configuration to the Genesis configuration. To transform parts of the labyrinth to open paths forward, manipulating the box will also be invaluable for solving puzzles in the Mortal Wound. I'm so excited to see what fucked up puzzles they have in this game.
It's very interesting because this is
It seems like it's also a weapon too. Like you can use
Did
it
you
to,
watch the trailer at all?
I watched clips, yes, little bits of it. I haven't watched the whole thing. But
it's not what I like. It makes sense because like the idea of how do you convert Hellraiser into a video game is a challenging one to begin with. It's interesting how it seems to in many ways be kind of like an FPS.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely like a first-person shooter.
Yeah. It's an FPS where like it almost kind of feels like Skyrim, but instead of like one hand being magic, it's like one hand is the Genesis configuration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
I'm on board for it.
I'm curious to see how well it balances Hellraiser's feeling and like vibe. Because obviously, like, you're going to have the character. Again, it kind of comes down to the same issue that we've been talking about in terms of genre, where it's like the tone of like it has all the iconography of Hellraiser, but the tone of Hellraiser is not necessarily something easily transferable into gameplay.
Yeah.
So what will it feel like? Will it feel like Hellraiser proper to play through this in any shape?
I mean, it's going to be a more action based, like gameplay wise. It feels like it's going to be a lot more action. It seems like you're like hired by the Cenobites to just claim souls or something like that, and so that's what gives us kind of Doom-like absorbing all this stuff.
It's like BDSM Grim Reaper.
Sure. Yeah. You said some things. I'll agree with those things. I don't know what they mean. I just love Doug Bradley's back. And this is the first time he's been back as Pinhead, because he was not in the last... Have there only been 2 movies? Revelations and Judgment he was not in. So it's really exciting to have Doug Bradley back.
I'm also, like, personally...
What?
I'm not a huge fan of any of the Hellraiser movies.
All right. Well, I'm gonna turn you off right now. Let me just go ahead and.
But I
No,
love.
Nope. We're gonna mute you. Your volume is at 0. Ben, no one can hear you anymore. Say something, Ben. I think he said he loved me. Let's turn it back on.
I hate Zorn. I hate Zorn so
No,
much.
he hates me. He doesn't love me. He hates me. Oh. No, I stand by. I'll stand by the theatrical Hellraisers. Actually, I enjoy 1 through 4.
Interesting.
I enjoy 1 through 4. 4 has one of the best decapitations of any movie, and 3 is just. I think 3 is super fun. It gets ridiculous, and 1 is just Little Shop of Horrors, but feeding people to get skin for your lover.
I think my thing with the Hellraisers is like most most franchises that are as iconic as Hellraiser is, there is a specific movie where I go, this is the one that I love. And I don't think Hellraiser has that for me. Like I like 1 through 4. I just don't have one that I point at and go, I love this. But I love Pinhead and I love the lore of this world. So part of me is very curious if like this video game can maybe be the thing that is my version of, that is like my take on Hellraiser that clicks.
Okay.
That is like the thing I love as someone who doesn't necessarily click on entirely with the movies. I think Hellraiser's just always been a property that I've wanted to work for me more than it has because I love the idea. So I'm very excited.
I'm gonna throw in the chat here. If anyone is curious, I did a Hellraiser parody called Low Carb Comedy's Hellraiser. So I'm gonna throw that in the chat there, where I digitally inserted my buddy Cusper into the opening of it to fool people at a marathon where they were showing the actual Hellraiser, and they showed this beforehand. So the opening credits are like exactly the same as Hellraiser, and then they're like, low carb comedy, what the fuck is this? So we played a nice little prank and did a fun version of that. So we'll move on from Hellraiser, and we're getting to our end here. I am going to throw in this trailer I am going to watch. It's just a minute long. This is Hands Over, and we were talking earlier in the chat about a Mario Party kind of horror game, and this one looked like a lot of fun. So I'm gonna play this. It's like a giant, barbed wire metal T-Rex.
Whoa. Whoa. It's kind of giving me like Buckshot Roulette Thaw.
Yep. Do not put the cat in there. Oh, God. Oh, this looks super fun.
It's also very like Squid Game in the
It's,
concept of like, it's about childhood games.
What is the Poker Night? Valve's Poker Night? Valve did a poker game where you had like I think Strogbad was in there at once. Ash from Evil Dead is in there. Guy from Team Fortress is in there. That was a very similar kind of art style that felt like this. But basically the game, you're going to be playing horror party games, like they're versions of your favorite childhood games. Because I used to have a game that was like an Audrey 2 that, you know, its mouth was open and you would put marbles on its tongue. And then if you put too many, the tongue would pressurize and it would snap on your fingers. So there were so many like 90s games of just, hey, you're going to get injured in some way if you don't do this. So this is just the extreme version of that. So I'm on board.
It sounds like that's Poker Night at the Inventory. It's made by Telltale.
Yes. Oh, it's Telltale. You're right. I apologize. That was not. You are correct. That was Telltale.
I've never heard of this.
Sam and Max are in there. It was a really good Poker Night game, and I think Brock from Venture Brothers was in there too. And
they also have one of the characters from Penny Arcade.
Yes, indeed.
Fascinating.
So it was a good little poker game, but the visual style reminded me of that. So
Totally,
we're
yeah.
finish off things. So here are games coming out this week. We've got Heavy Metal Death Can, an old school survival horror game set on a Swedish Cold War era submarine. Trapped beneath the ocean, you must fight against the terrifying sludge, which has turned your crew into zombies. Look for survivors and uncover the truth behind the madness. If Oswald Spencer did not design this sub full of puzzles, I don't know what you're going to be doing walking down just a few corridors, but that sounds very interesting. And that comes out May 28th. And it's done by Crufts Productions. I'm going to do a quick on them. And that seems to be their only credit right now. So on board for that. I'm going to mute that. All right. Now, ads are stopping me from watching the trailer. All right. Then we also have Necrophosis, Full Consciousness. This is a downloadable content for Necrophosis, which is a game that has been requested many times in the chat for me to play. It may just be by the same person. I apologize. I can't remember your name right now. But if you're in the chat, scream out your Necrophosis. I bought it, and I did open it because I thought of it for a stream. And it is very much like a Myst, but with creepy puzzles of bones everywhere. So I opened it, and I immediately had a panic attack because the entire world is made up of skeletons. And so if I were to kill count it, I don't know what to do.
Now, I will say...
I don't know what to do. I can't count it all.
Look. Sometimes you just gotta change the rules. In the same way that we did Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, and we were like, the general rules of like, we don't count these things have to go out the window in order to count Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I think we can do the reverse where we're like...
Just know,
we're not going to count bones that are like the decor.
Yes, that's, I think the only way to ever kill count Necrophosis would to be like, bone decor does not count. It will only
I will also say, you said that this is the DLC. It is not.
Oh, it isn't? Is it a full sequel?
No, this is the combo of the original game and the DLC that's been released. So this is like a complete package. Like this is full consciousness.
Apologies that it is a combination. Because okay, then what was the name of the DLC? Anyway, it was but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful little game, and it's really cool looking. And it's a very calming. It's not like a jump scare game. At least when I played a little bit of it, it's just like, find this skull, move this over here, finish this puzzle, rotate this, do that. I'm like, okay, just living in this land of the dead. So it looks really good. The designs are fantastic. And then also coming out this week is Dead Faces. Dead Faces is a mind-bending psychological horror. Unravel Jack's disturbing mind. The faces from his past. And we're going to have birthday cake flavored caffeine energy drink. What the hell? Sorry, the advertisement's playing right now, and I didn't realize 5-hour energy drink made birthday cake? Sure. All right, if Oreo did it, why not? I've just got a little bit of the video playing. Visually, looks good. But you face the faces from his past and the ultimate truth behind his actions. You must remember their faces. Oh, yeah. This one looks like a more jump-scary, investigate a mansion, all kinds of things. This is also coming out. This says May 2026, so I assume sometime in this year. All right. These are all going on the radar. Oh, it's got the old, like, moss wallpaper or, like, stuff creeping on the wallpaper. Oh, good. People hanging. YouTube will love that. All right. We're going to close that up and go back over to our full screen here because... Let's see. Buy the energy drink. I am not buying that energy drink, Penguin Oats. Stop it. And also, Rachy Devil popped into the chat and said hello, and I say hello now, even though it's super delayed. If that is your birthday cake, you've made poor choices in life. I'm just going to put a little candle in the 5-hour energy drink. Here's the thing. I did a combined birthday with me and Phoenix, and... it would have been nice for my birthday cake to be a 5-hour energy drink because we did a whole day. And by the end, I'm just like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I need you, birthday cake, 5-hour energy. Oh, and Froggy Fresh said the 007 game is out today. That's why it was
I'm very
advertised
excited.
all
I'm very
over.
excited for that.
I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm not the biggest Bond person.
Neither am I, but I really like the developers because they did the Hitman games, which have been
Oh,
very
great.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's I want to look at the reviews. The previews that I've seen for the game kind of sound like it is a bit of the cinematic spectacle of Uncharted woven into the gameplay of Hitman, and that seems cool.
All right. I like it. It's nice that it'll be a little more of that, because the nice thing about Hitman is it's just you could approach it for so many different ways to get to your goal, and I hope they keep that kind of same feel, which
Yeah.
is good for a Bond game. It works really well for that. And most Bond games that we've gotten are pure action first person shooter style things.
Yeah.
So all right. So yeah, that's all the game news. That was a lot of game news for
There was a lot.
these past few weeks here. But let's talk about what's going on the channel. Obviously, we launched last week. We have our kill count for Fear the Spotlight is available, as well as the interview with Brian and Krista, the developers of Fear the Spotlight. That's also available on the channel. And our first episode of our podcast, What We Do in the Shadows.
Is that the name of the podcast?
It's not. What We Play in the Shadows. Well, I fucked it up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm signing off the internet for good. Ben. Oh, boy. What We Play in the Shadows, our first episode, is out with Gina DeVivo and Chelsea Rebecca talking all about Pokemon and how to make it scary. And it was a very, very fun episode to get there. And Ben is there as well. I eventually acknowledged him in the episode. It took a minute, but
it feels very blank check with Griffin and David, where because they have a producer, also named Ben, and sometimes he doesn't get acknowledged until like an hour in, and he's already been talking, and I just think that's fun. I think that's a fun little thing.
Bye, Soraya. And yes, I'll transition into our next kill count will be Outlast Whistleblower, and that will be coming out in June.
I'm very excited about.
Do we know release cadence? We're kind of still figuring that out.
I mean, the idea is that the kill count games will come out once a month towards the end of every month. I hesitate to say like the exact time.
Correct.
Because I think that giving us a little bit of flexibility there will be really helpful. So I would just say like it is season 3 is going to be releasing once a month until season 3 is done, and it will be in the second half of the month.
Correct. Yes. I think in an ideal world, we're going about 4 weeks between releases, but depending on how things shake out, because you always remember
sometimes the length of month also just kind of tweaks where that falls, and then it's like, well, maybe we should just move it to later to feel right, even if it is further out.
Best way of finding out when they come out is to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and you will be informed on all of it. And then, of course, we'll be talking about them on the podcast and on here as well, and on our social media, which is deadmeat.games on Instagram and TikTok, deadmeat_games on Twitter, and then just Dead Meat Games on Blue Sky. Just do a search for Dead Meat Games, and hopefully one of those pops up on whatever social media you want, and give us a follow over there, because we're going to start posting hopefully some more news stuff like this, news stories that come out. We can also do little comments on or just reposts and things. And we've got that. And then next Wednesday is the follow-up episode for What We Play in the Shadows. We are going to be doing The Exit 8, which is the name of the game, and also Exit 8, which is the name of the movie. We are going to be talking about both of those. Gina and I played through it, and ideally then also we'll be releasing Gina and my playthrough.
If we can find the time to edit that down, we will try to. We have limited editor resources.
We do have limited editors, so that's the thing on here. Just be aware, we're all sharing the editors. Everyone with the regular Dead Meat and everything that's going on, Dead Meat Awards, all the stuff that's happening, all the really cool things that we're doing. But we have to make sure we're able to get everything out there. Yeah. But we will always be informing you and letting you know when stuff is great, when stuff is coming out. And D Pine says Gina is a co-host. She is an amazing co-host.
Because
We
Rachie
love
Devil is
Gina.
asking if Gina's a permanent on the podcast. Gina is a permanent on the podcast.
Mhm.
Every so often, there'll be moments where like Zorn and I are going to an event, and so we're able to talk about that from that
Yes.
perspective. So I'll be filling Gina's shoes for that episode to talk about our experiences from that. But generally speaking,
The idea is
Gina
that
DeVivo.
Yep, she rocks, and we are going to be doing so many fun, ridiculous things on this channel. We've got so many stupid episodes planned, and I love them. I love them so.
Yeah.
And I love just hanging out with Gina because she has an
She's so cool.
amazing energy. So we've got that. And then I will be doing a live stream this Thursday. I know I missed last Thursday's live stream. I told Ben to do it, but then he got busy.
Yeah,
I said, Ben, do a stream. He's like, I'd love to.
I was so
work
excited
too much.
to. I'd pulled 3 different games where I was like, I'll do one of these. Maybe I'll do, because like I looked at doing like Buckshot Roulette. I looked at doing Iron Lung potentially, but and then I was like, oh, I'm too busy Thursday. I'll do it on Friday. And then Friday came and I was like, I don't have free time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. So we missed it. We missed that one, but I will be back this Thursday. I haven't figured out what to play yet. Should we start doing a Dead by Daylight stuff already? Or is that for next week? I was considering doing Hooked on You, the dating sim.
Ooh.
That could be done in like 3 hours. So I could do a stream of that.
If you do that, I pitch asking if Addison wants to like call in, join you for that, because I know she's a huge.
I would
horror
happily
games
play that
fan.
with Addison if she wanted to play that.
Yeah.
Play that together. We will figure that out and announce it fully. Because again, I was gone all weekend, and last week was so much work and getting everything launched that now I can go, all right, I'm going to figure it out. So we will make sure to put out on social media what we will be playing. But most likely, if everything works out, I'll play Hooked on You, right? I want to say Hooked on a Feeling, and that's not it. Hooked on You, the Dead by Daylight game. To celebrate, this is their
Mercedes says,
10-year.
please play a scary game. Maybe we get... You know what? I think they're right. I think maybe we get like
did we not play a scary game? Directive 8020 was horrifying.
Yeah, but it was also like all of us having like a grand old time. Maybe we like put you in a dark room and you play something scary.
Oh man. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll figure it out. We'll discuss after this. Thank you for being here for the first episode of Damage Report.
Damage Report. I didn't do my mug of the day.
Oh, we're doing the mug of the
do
day
that?
thing?
Should I?
No, we
should
should
I
do
be doing
something
that on this
different.
one? We should do something different.
I think we should do something different. I don't have a
Okay.
mug. I don't drink coffee, so
That's what you have
not a
me
thing.
for. I have the mugs.
If you want to show your mug, you can show your mug.
This is my Loyola Marymount University mug. This is where I went to college. It is special to me because while I was at LMU, they also like rebranded everything. So I hate the new branding. I hate the colors. I hate the like simplified logos. It feels very like tech flattening of design. So this is the old style that feels very collegiate, and I love it.
Amazing.
Shout out
All right.
LMU.
Well, thank you very much for being here. We will be back in 2 weeks. We're doing these every 2 weeks to let some news kind of come together, and we'll be talking more horror game news.
And it'll be 10 a.m. again. This is
10
not
a.m.,
like
yes.
this is not our time because James was streaming. This is our time because frankly I need an hour at the top of a day to like coordinate with our editors and team. I cannot wait. Like I can't start this and be like, I can't talk to you guys right now. Sorry, figure it out.
Yep. Well, I am excited. Yeah, 10 a.m. is also just nice because we don't have to get up super early just so I can get everything set up and how it's all going.
Now you get to pick between us or like Kind of Funny Games Daily.
What are you doing? Why are you putting us into competition? You're telling them like, you can switch over to this channel. Like, oh yeah, they're doing their thing. I'd like to watch that. Thanks. We already just lost all our viewers. Oh, Ben. I got nothing more. So I'm just going to end our stream. Thank you for being here. We will be back in 2 weeks. Bye. All right, stream has ended. Wow, hour 40.